Welcome to the Dirt Trail Running Podcast. My name is Michelle Hartwig, and I am your host. And I'm also race director for many Midwest trail races like Kettle Moraine 100, which is coming up really soon, and Earth Day trail races, and many more. And I am here with my co-host, Crystal the Pistol.
Hello, everybody.
And we have Conor Holt on tonight. A lot of people will know Conor as Camille
No one knows
Horan's.
who I am.
Well, they know him as Camille Horan's husband.
Yeah, there you go. The guy that hangs out with Camille Heron. We don't know his name, but yeah.
That guy. Well, now they get to know. Like, I'm super excited to find out. Because I personally know, like, my face is a little bit more out there than my husband's. But, man, nothing gets done without my husband. Like, that's the brain. Like Loretta, Coach Loretta, behind the scenes getting this podcast going for us.
The
like
production,
Yeah, you are that person. But, I mean, you're actually a very accomplished runner yourself.
Many moons ago.
Well, it wasn't that long ago. What was it? I looked it up, like 2004, like two-time winner of Oklahoma Marathon and course
that's 16 years ago. Yeah, that's like a lifetime. Yeah, so to me it is anyway.
Yeah. Is that where you met? I mean, that was in Oklahoma.
We met in Oklahoma at a jazz festival, actually. Yeah. I'm nearly 10 years older than Camille.
Okay.
I'm like an old man here, and she was a young thing and from Oklahoma, and we met in a jazz festival in the summer of 2001. So my pickup line was you look like a runner, and worked. We're still together.
And were you the only person that could keep up with her? So.
No, you know what? When we first met, she wasn't actually even running then. She'd kind of given up on the sport. She was a very good high school athlete, and I've told this story many times. But no, she was a very good high school athlete, won a bunch of state titles, and she got to college, and I think like any other young female in college, it's a transition, and it was just a tough process for her, and she had a lot of injuries her first year in college, and I think she thought her running dreams were over and done with, So when I met her, she actually wasn't even running. Her doctors told her that she'd never be, they told her basically at the university where she was at that running wasn't really in her future, So right. So anyway, so when I met her, she wasn't even running much. Yeah, I don't think she was actually running at all, to be honest. Yeah. So
that's really interesting.
She was just hanging out, at about a jazz festival, chatting to an Irish guy, so he was pretty drunk.
and having a beer, I know you guys are like big beer.
I had a few beers before I met her, actually, I was chatting up there. It was this jazz festival that we went to that night. It was a pretty popular jazz festival in Oklahoma. There's a lot of dignitaries there. So they had Bart Connor, the gymnast. He actually lives in Norman, and so he was one of the people that they cut the ribbon to start the jazz festival. And then there was also Miss Oklahoma was there too. So I was like, ho ho ho, hello, I'm gonna go over there and talk to Miss Oklahoma. And being Irish, there's no shyness at all. You just kind of go with the flow and you just do what you do, And I wasn't getting anywhere with Miss Oklahoma, so I turned around and Camille Heron was sitting on a chair over in the corner. There was a running store nearby, and so I wandered over there, stumbled over there actually, and started chatting her up. So.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
that's so cute.
Yeah, it was actually. Yeah. So.
And then, how much longer did you guys get married from then?
Yeah, like everything else, we took our time, and we just started dating, and then, but we kind of knew right away that we were gonna, we kind of knew right away that we were in love, and it just kind of went from there. But we ended up getting married in January 1st, 2007, so 6 years after that. Yeah, so we got engaged, and we were engaged for a while, and then we ended up getting married we were both out, and Camille was doing her master's at Oregon State, and I was on the coaching staff at Oregon State University for cross country and track, and we ended up getting married in Corvallis, on January 1st, 2007, a simple ceremony. There was like 6 people there, and my boss actually went online, and became an ordained minister, and he performed the wedding was at an Irish covered bridge in Corvallis. Yeah, very romantic, you know. So
oh, that's amazing. I love
that sounds really nice.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, we went to a Fox and Firkin pub afterwards for the reception, the wedding reception. It was fish and chips and a few beers, and then we went off to the coast for 2 nights. Yeah, so it was good. Yeah, so
wow. So that was in
called,
2006.
Yeah, 2007. Yeah, January 1st, 2007. Yeah, a place called Depot Bay. It's beautiful in the summer. It's on the Oregon coast. Oh, it's a place where you can see the whales. The whales come right in, and it's beautiful. And so that's we had our honeymoon there. Yeah. So Depot Bay. Yeah. So.
Wow. Yeah, I'll have to check that Depot Bay out. That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
I love the West Coast over there.
Oh yeah, especially Oregon. We've been there, you know. We've lived there, and we've been there so many times since, and but we always try and get over. We've been to Depot Bay a few times since then, just to kind of check things out. But yeah, it's beautiful over there in the summer. Not so great in the winter, you know. A bit of rain here and there, but I'm kind of used to that. Being born and raised in Ireland, you know, kind of rains.
Right.
So, yeah. So, you ever been to Ireland?
No, I wish.
Yeah, a name like Crystal the Pistol, you'd be a hit over there.
I'd probably fit right
in.
Go check out the pubs.
Yeah,
for sure.
Crystal the Pistol for the win.
I love it.
One more round for Crystal the Pistol.
Well, before we went live, we found out you had a really cool nickname. What was that?
Yeah. Holt the Bolt, yeah.
Holt the Bolt.
Holt the Bolt, Crystal the Pistol. I bet you we could close the place down between the two of us, right?
Yeah, I think so. Wait, Michelle, what was your nickname? Come on, tell everybody.
No. My bratty brother called me Shelly Belly.
Shelly Belly.
For the win, that's right. All three of us could close the place down, no problem. Good day of drinking and night of drinking, away you go. So.
Oh, that's amazing.
Indeed, yeah. So, but I appreciate you having me on here to talk running and life and everything. Yeah, before I got on, I got on just did a bit of research. I was like, what am I getting myself in for here? You know. So I went online and you're very good, some very good YouTube videos. Yeah. So I'll be all doing your interviews. Yeah. There's some great people on.
We have.
There's some great people there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some great guests. Yeah.
It's super. I mean, it's very interesting for us to learn about the people in the sport. I feel like our sport is it's kind of small and we're like all regular people, but like for somebody like you, all the regular people watching, they're, you know, like you guys are superstars. And
I'm not a superstar. I'm married to one, but I'm not. I'm just a regular dude.
But it's great for people to see that you're just a regular guy and how this all happens. Like when did I actually knew Camille. I don't know if you know this, but Camille and I were on Team Innovate together for a while.
Innovate, yeah, very good, yeah. Those shoes, yeah. She ran her PR in the marathon in those Innovates, yeah.
Yeah, didn't she even wear like a Spider-Man outfit or something?
Yeah, she wore that, yeah. But those Innovates, yeah, she ran the trials 2012. That's where she ran her 2:37. Yeah, it was in those Innovates, yeah. They were great shoes, yeah. So you were on the team with her, very good.
I was on the team with her, and yeah, she used to message me, and I because I don't like at the time you had to wait for a long time to find out if you were on the team, and I had been on the team for a few years, and she's like, when do we find out? Like I applied, and I'm like, oh, don't worry, they're always a little bit slow about it, and but I remember looking at the stuff that she had going on, and she wasn't quite in ultras yet, but it was very obvious that she was a superstar. Like I could just tell that she was gonna blow it up, and she definitely did. Did you help coach? I know you guys have a really successful coaching business. Did you coach her and help grow her as an athlete?
Basically, if when she does write a book, I hope she puts a chapter about me in there, and she says that he was the dude who motivated me to take this all up again, because like I said, she had a tough old go of it in early stages of college, and she kind of lost her scholarship in the end, and she got what they call a medical hardship, where you don't have to run for the college, but you get to go back and go to school there and stuff. But so basically, her collegiate career she only ran maybe 4 or 5 college races in her whole college career, and that's kind of, it's tough for a young female who's a very successful high school athlete, winning state titles, and you get a pretty substantial scholarship, athletic and academic, to go somewhere, and then you kind of you suffer through injury and burnout, and and it's tough for young girls these days. I think there's a lot. We get contacted a lot through our website from young females who are just starting out in the college journey, or they're having a tough old time with in college, and I think the biggest thing that we kind of take away from it and tell them is, just, hey, it's just one part of your life. It's just a stage in your life. There's going to be lots of stages in your life, and just enjoy that there's light at the end of the tunnel. But go back to Camille, yeah, she had a tough old go of it, and she kind of given up on herself in the sport, and so I was kind of running a lot then, and I was kind of at the heyday of my running, and she was kind of my support crew. She'd come out on my training runs and give me fuel and anything like that, and then just one day we were up in Colorado, and one day she just decided she was just jogging every day. She was just enjoying the sport, because that's what I told her. Just take your time with this. You don't have to accomplish this and that. And very A-type personality. She was involved in 10,000 things as a young woman, and had to do this. And I was like, you know what? Just pick one thing you think you're going to be really good at, and just focus on that. So she focused on her academics, and then, her running, she was just using her running as stress relief, just being able to go run every day and enjoy the sport, and just running real easy, just don't worry about time, don't worry about pace, just enjoy the sport, put one foot in front of the other. And from there, yeah, she was running just every day, and before you know it, she was running 70 miles a week for fun, and just getting out every day and running, yeah. So one day we were up in the summer of 2004. We went to Boulder. I was up there training with a few great athletes, and she tagged along just for a few months, and we were just training, and we went out the door one day for a run, and I got back before her, and she came back, and I was like, how far are you running? And I was looking at a training log, and added up our miles. I was like, holy crap, you're running a lot. And so let's start giving you workouts,
Yeah.
and just let's just put some structure to this. So that's kind of where it started, was to the summer of 2004, just giving her structural workouts, and that's all. Then she really teared it up. Yeah, she got PRs and everything from the 5K to the half marathon. So yeah, and that's really where it started. Yeah. So, but she made a promise to herself that she kind of wanted to see how far she'd go with it, So, and she thought she would be good, and yeah, she obviously has done that. So yeah. So.
Did you help guide her towards, did you see a talent in the distance, at moving to that direction if she was doing shorter stuff before?
Yeah, I think you just have to, it's like every athlete that you coach, and I've coached collegiately, and I coach all kinds of levels. I think you just kind of have to figure out what their DNA is, and figure out what works for them, and and kind of mold that, I think, and with her it was just slowing things down, and just relaxing, and running for the love of it. And I think that's when you see these pictures of her out running, and she's always smiling. That's really what it is. She just enjoys the sport. So, and I think that's where it started, was back when I told her, hey, just enjoy the sport, enjoy running every day, and just enjoy life. And yeah, that's kind of where it all started. Talent is always going to be there. I think if you're a talented runner, I think it's never going to go away. It just has to be, coached the right way and guided the right way. And I think I probably came into her life right at the right time, that she was going through all these issues and injuries and the stress of everything. And so I think, I just arrived at the right time in her life, and the stars aligned, yeah, and kind of went from there. So, yeah. So.
And you talk about some injuries, and I certainly don't want to, I got to be careful how I ask this, because I don't want to diss any former coach or anything, but is there ways to coach, that maybe the injuries wouldn't have happened, or what do you think? It's just part of growing up?
I think, just part of growing up, I think. And she came from a very low mileage background in high school, running 25 miles a week, to being, and I think this is not just one college program. A lot of collegiate running is like this. It's like you're just thrown to the deep end of the pool, and a lot of times you just have to tread in water, and you get stronger, and sometimes injuries happen, and I think you're running high mileage. I think that's all part of the game, isn't it? That you're running. It's in high school is when an athlete is in high school, they it's just part of going about your life, isn't it? You're going to school, and then high school is an extension. The athletics is an extension of that. In college, it's a lot more structure. You have everything structured for you. You go to classes in the morning, you practice in the afternoon, and then if you practice in the morning too, then you're doing two a days. So I think like anything else, it's just learning how to adapt to all that, and learning how to figure these things out. And some coaches are better than others, obviously, at doing those kind of things. And but now, yeah, it's just all part of the process. She was still growing into her body and stuff, and she just got hurt. It just happens, doesn't it? And
yeah.
But there's ways of learning from it, and just kind of figuring out. It's just getting better at what you do. So yeah.
Well, you guys have done an incredible job of growing the Camille Horan brand and your coaching business, and we are all drawn to her huge smile as she runs and her hair flies in the background. So, and her strong legs.
You should have seen her last night. We're in the gym here. We have a gym in the house here, and she was getting after it with those deadlifts. Oh yeah, you got that stuff there. Those legs are so strong. Deadlifts and squats. Oh yeah, big time.
So strength training's a huge thing. Do you guys use weights?
Yeah. We kind of do it. We kind of pick it. We pick and choose. When we're going to do it, when we're really going to do it. But when you have 8 weeks leading to a big or goal race, you typically get after it pretty good twice a week. We do it on our speed work hard on long run days, so typically twice a week. So we did a workout yesterday, so that's why we were lifting yesterday. But it's typically you do it 6 hours after your hard workout, or your long run.
Okay.
And so we're typically she was getting after it, doing the bar and the weights, and with last night, 10 o'clock last night. So. And
are you training for anything?
Training? Yeah, right. Yeah, I used to when we were with Nike, I was a tester for Nike, and but ever since we left Nike, I got all these shoes that showed up about 2 months ago, and I've only worn one pair of them. So so it's part of the contract. I got a pretty good deal too, so I get all these shoes. So, but I haven't worn. But I need to get after it. Yeah, I'm getting fat. That's what Camille says. I need to start running again.
Well,
drinking too many beers and and all that stuff you do when you're tough out of life here, So. Yeah,
you need to be trained up to crew her, I imagine.
Yeah, that's easy. That ain't hard at all. I tell you what's hard is when especially this past year, and we talked about this with our company. It's hard, when you're training at the level she's training at. Like we had 10 races. I think it was 10, maybe 8 races. There was a bunch of races cancelled last year, and it's tough because you're peaking and you're doing all this work, and so that was a tough old go. And when you put all this effort into it, but that's life, isn't it? Yeah, isn't it? It's just all part of just this whole thing. Did you all get your vaccine?
I have one of my shots.
Yeah, I got my second one. We got our second one last Friday, and I tell you, it was like I was a battering ram on my head about 12 hours afterwards to about 30 hours. So we got it about 1:30 in the afternoon, and about 1 in the morning, I started just shivering, shaking, and my head was exploding, and that lasted for a good. It was like a really bad college hangover. That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
And that lasted. Yeah, it lasted all the way Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon until about 7 o'clock Saturday evening. So from about 12 hours after the shot to about 30 hours. So and then Camille, there was nothing at all. All she had was a sore arm. Yeah. So it's crazy, isn't it? And I've heard that people are kind of like, some people get hit pretty hard and others don't. Yeah. So she just had a sore arm. That's all she had. Yeah. I had everything else.
Well, it'll be good to have that done as you go out to Western states. Are they requiring that?
We haven't heard that yet. I know that they got some plans. All right. I haven't heard anything yet. I haven't seen any emails. We got one email there a while back saying that everything is kind of moving along, and but that's the latest we've heard. But as far as I know, everything seems to be going as planned. So so we're excited. Yeah. 7 weeks and 6 days or whatever to the race. Yeah.
Wow.
So,
Nice.
yeah, we're excited. Yeah.
Yeah, I was planning on going out there to volunteer last year when everything was canceled, but I haven't bought a plane ticket for this year. I should really look into it. Yeah.
Tickets are cheap. Tickets are cheap everywhere. I was looking at tickets to Ireland the other day, and it's like $600 return.
Yeah,
Some places in California a few years ago, you couldn't fly to California a few years ago for $600 return.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But yeah, no, we're all gearing up for that, yeah, for sure, yeah. So.
Yeah, I'm like, when my husband crews for me, it's like a big, long, 24-hour event. Yours is much faster than.
Well, if it isn't a 24-hour race, it is, yeah. Or as we get into these multi-days down the road, that would be interesting. I definitely need some help in those things because I'm staying awake for 48 hours or 6 days. It's brutal. But no, the 24-hour event, I got that kind of nailed down pretty good now, yeah. And then the 100-milers they're not that hard, yeah. It's just like, you just go with the flow and just, you have a plan and kind of know what things are going to happen. And with Camille, you kind of have to expect the unexpected, to be honest. So you kind of have to have plenty of plans, So, yeah.
And then you guys bought that cool van recently. Like, have you done any fun trips in it?
Oh yeah, we've done a bunch of trips in this one, yeah. So it's a good story behind that. So those suckers are about $110,000, and we took we've been online for a bit, kind of looking at, and it takes about 6 months to build these things. And so there was a fella that bought it, he built it for himself, and he only had about 1,000 miles on it, and him and his missus were getting divorced, so he wanted to get rid of the van. So I flew down to El Paso, and I got whiff of it, and I flew down, one-way ticket, and I had a look at the inspection. The van had never been used. So we ended up, I offered him a deal that you'd probably choke at. And, but it was a really good offer for me anyway, wasn't it? Put you some good Irish banter there, and but anyway, we got a really good deal on it, and we've kind of modified it because it's a mod van. You can kind of move things around in it and stuff. It sleeps 4 people because it rises, pops up and down. And but we've added like a shower now to the back of it. We've added solar panels so that you can basically kind of go out in the middle of nowhere now. You don't have to worry about a shoreline when you're going, like, it has a shoreline in it for like when you pull into campers and everything, you plug it in. But now that I have solar panels on it, it actually regenerates all the energy, so I could run the battery all day and I wouldn't worry about it. So yeah. Then we put we have a TV in there now, and then what else did we add? We added the air conditioning unit. We made it a little more kind of kicky into it, so it's a little bit more better now, air conditioning unit. And but yeah, it's good, yeah. And then it had a cell booster in it too, a Wi-Fi and a cell booster, so you can get Wi-Fi anywhere no dead zones at all anymore. So so it's good, yeah. So yeah, we drove up to Vegas there last week for that jackpot 100. That was a last minute decision, and we pulled into the parking lot the day before and slept in the parking lot right beside the starting line. It was great, and and then we're going to go out to Silver State 50 in it here in another week or two, and that's out in Reno, and we're going to drive out there and stay. Yeah, same thing. Yeah, it's great though. It's so comfortable to sleep in. So yeah, and then obviously we'll go to Western States. Yeah, so. But it'd be really good for just going up, training in the mountains for a day or two. That's what we really wanted to get it for, so we could just spend more time. Because in the past, you'd drive up there and then you'd have no place to cook food or anything like that, and you'd have to turn around and come home the same day. So this way, you can stay up there for 2 nights. You can get a bunch of runs in at high altitude, like 10,000 feet, get your boost, and then come back down. Yeah. So yeah, so that was really the plan of getting it, to be honest. Yeah. So.
Is it easy to find spots to camp at?
Oh yeah, it's like it's a transit. It's a Ford Transit. It's built on the Transit 150 chassis, so it can park anywhere. Yeah. So yeah, it's not like one of these massive things that you can have a hard time pulling in and out of places. Yeah.
So just like a regular driver's license, you can drive.
Oh yeah, you don't need it. Yeah. Oh yeah, you don't need. I used to, when I coached college, I had one of those CDLs for driving. For driving buses and stuff. So, but now this is a piece of cake. It's easy to drive. It's got great. And I've put all siding on all the windows, so you can't see in now at all during the day. It keeps it all cool inside. But it has all those mirrors and everything on the side. You can see everything and anything, yeah. So all that blind spot stuff, yeah. So, but yeah, 2024 Transit, yeah. So just past the 10,000 mile mark. So yeah. So.
Oh, that's pretty good. How many
Oh,
miles did
Yeah.
it have on it when you got it?
About 1,500, yeah, 2,000,
Oh.
I think, yeah, yeah. So.
Oh, you've put some miles on it so far.
Oh yeah, driving,
Awesome.
you know, yeah, you got to drive places, and yeah, we plan on driving all over when she does this, whether we still have this van when she does the run across America, that will be something we'll probably use, and all these multi-day stuff that we plan on doing, yeah. So wherever that happens, yeah.
So you are planning. I love runs across America. I think
Oh
that's
yeah.
just super cool. That's something that's on the to-do
Yeah,
list.
down the road, yeah, down the road. I think that'll be something she'll want to do. Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Nike were really gonna promote it. They wanted her to kind of when we were in Nike, they wanted her to like run it into the whole plan was like we'd do it and she'd run into every these small little towns across America, and they were all promoting women in sport, young girls in sports. So they'd be bringing all these middle school girls, high school girls out to cheer her on. So but that all fizzled. So yeah, but yeah, the plan is down the road, that'll be something we'll be doing. Yeah. So
would that be to try? Do you think that it'd be interesting to just kind of take your time and run and see, or something that you're trying to do?
We're
fast?
all about records.
Yeah, that's kind of what I figured.
Camille Hair don't know how to run easy. It's all about records with this one.
So is there like a route that is like a record route?
Whatever route Pete Kosinick took.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
That's gonna be fun to watch.
She'll want to go for the overall record, not just the women's record. She'll want to go after so Zach Bitter's going to be doing something like that down the road here too, I have a feeling. Yeah, that's the word on the street anyway. So maybe Bitter will add a few miles or a few days onto whatever Pete ran, and then Camille will go pounce that.
Well, we have full confidence in Camille.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah, indeed. But no, yeah, it's all about records with Camille, yeah. So, indeed. Very good.
And then, so Western States is coming up next. Do you have like special plans for you as crew at Western States? Like how many stations do you get to go to?
I usually try and get to every one of them, yeah. So first one you can get to is about 24, 25 miles. And that's a bit of a trek to get down to that one. It's all these windy roads and stuff. So that's usually the first one you can get to. So typically what I always do is once that race, I would like literally be sitting in the car as the gun went, and then I would just go. So you kind of have a window. So yeah, and if you hit traffic, you're screwed because then you might miss them. So, but every time I've done it now, it's been a few times now. But obviously the first time I made it down there, she didn't even make it that far. She ran into a tree and had a concussion. So I drove all the way there for no reason. I was like sitting there for 2 hours waiting. Where is she? There was no cell reception. But now I have cell reception because I have that cell booster. So there won't be any issues with that. And then the second time I made it there, she came in about 30 minutes after I was there. So that was good, yeah. So, so she's run it twice now. Hasn't finished it, yeah. So this is the third time now getting after it, yeah. So keep the fingers crossed, yeah. So yeah, but yeah, that 8th station, that's a good one. And then the next one I think is about 40 miles, I think. 38 miles. You can get to the 38-mile one, and that's easy to get to. And then from there, then I think the next one will be the Forest Hill or the one before Forest Hill. You get to that one, and then so they're not that hard to get to. Listen, I got lost in a tray in the middle of France trying to find the next 8th station for that Templiers race, and the thing was all speaking to me in French, and I took French in high school, but I tell you, I didn't have a clue what that fellow was saying on that GPS. So driving through fields. And I just happened to just roll into. I went through a field to get to the 8th station. Yes, I had no idea where I was going. So if I can, the same with South Africa. That's a place where you got to know your wits. Tell you, people drive like crazy over there. So and you got to have a fast car there. If you ever go to South Africa, rent a fast car. If you're ever going to do Comrades, because that place is wild. That race is crazy. You got to have a fast car to get to the next 8th station because I tell you, those roads and those just to get to the 8th station is a mission in itself, So yeah, Western States is tame compared to these other races I've been to. So yeah.
Yeah, I had heard somebody say that it's kind of hard. Like one of the aid stations was really windy, and if you went to that, you might miss them at the next aid station.
No, you just got to haul ass. That's the reason. Yeah, you just got to haul ass.
Yeah, there's no chatting and taking selfies
No,
with
just go.
everybody.
Yeah. Just get going. They do a hell of a job, though. I tell you, that race, that organization, the volunteers, it's well run. Yeah, they have it together. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, it is pretty magical there. I got to pace in from Forest Hill one time. I just went out there and I just rose my hand and said I could pace somebody if anybody needs a pacer, and a mom
really?
and a mom came up to me and her son was running and she's like, my son needs a pacer. Can you do whatever pace it was? I said yeah, and so I ran.
Cool.
Into the very last aid station. I got to go through the water crossing, and then his girlfriend, Rucky Chucky, and but I think I took we got on a boat for sure. It was we boated across. You went down, and there was like 1 million volunteers that take you down to it.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, no, like they're trying to give me their hand to help. I'm like, no, I can do this all on my own. I felt like it was cheating, even though I was the pacer. And so then his girlfriend did the very final lap with him. But watching at the finish line, I mean, it's just so magical there.
Oh yeah, and especially if everything goes right on the day, it can be so magical, right? You can do some great things. So that's what we're excited about. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, and Camille's got to test out a few things there, and just had a good race, and so
finished.
It finished. Probably not Camille's top race, but it was still really way better than most of us can do, and and finished. And
well, we were on a pretty technical trail today, and the shoes she was wearing today, they're really good. So that's probably the shoes we're going to wear for the race. And this stuff, it's 10 times worse than the trail at Western States. So the stuff we were on today. So we feel pretty good about shoes sticking now. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Well, that's super exciting. We're really excited. Yeah. What other big stuff do you guys got coming up this year?
We'll just get through that, and then we'll see where if the UTMB is going to happen, right? Because right now Europe is a bit of a mess, isn't it?
Yeah.
So with the whole COVID thing, going on, and everything seems to be really slow there. They just cancelled the European Mountain Championships, and that was planned for July, so that was cancelled. So so that doesn't look too good, does it? So
no.
I guess if that doesn't happen, I guess we probably do some backup towards that, whatever that is, Leadville probably, if that happens, and then you have the World Championships. There's a slew of them in the fall if they happen. You have the 24-hour championships in early October. They were in a town I can't pronounce the name of it, but it's in Romania, and now that's been moved now to Bucharest. But we haven't heard anything about that yet. They're supposed to be picking the team here pretty soon. But that was early October. And then the end of October is the 50K Road Champs. That's in Taiwan, I think I want to say, or Chinese Taipei. That's the 50K Road Champs. She's already on that team. And then the World Mountain Running Championships are in the middle of November in, I want to say they're in Taiwan. And and she's hoping to make that team too. So, and then we're talking to Hoka about putting on a really special event towards the end of the year, something comparable to what they did here in January with the Hoka running event. So we're looking at doing something magical to end the year with that. So so.
That is a lot of traveling. How do you?
Well, that's what I'm saying. If it happens, none of mine might not happen. Be like last year, sitting on my arse in Colorado doing nothing, twiddling my thumbs, looking at the wall, the paint on the wall dry. So. Who knows?
Yeah, it's funny how we're like this. Never. And as long as we've been runners, have we ever said, well, if this race happens or if this race, canceling a race did not happen, no matter what. A tornado, whatever you were putting on the race.
Oh yeah, it's been a very interesting time for sure, hasn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, so but hopefully, it seems like things are getting back to normality, and we did the Jackpot Ultra. That was a great event run by two great race directors, and they put on a great show. And that was the last minute. We were going to go to California, but we decided 6 hours was a little bit easier than driving 16 hours. So we did that, and that was fun. And yeah, she recovered pretty well from that. Probably the fastest I've ever seen her recover from a 100 miler, to be honest. Yeah.
Well, then
Yeah.
that shows her all ready for Western States.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we didn't even taper for that race either. She ran 120 miles a week before, and yeah, only tapered. She only decided to run the race on the Wednesday, and the race was Friday, so it was like a 1 day taper. Yeah, so yeah,
Wow.
yeah. And her moving time was 13 hours and 40 minutes. She had an hour there where her nutrition went to crap. So, we have to. There's a few things we're kind of figure. We're no longer with Univet now, so we're trying to figure out some new nutrition brands, and we're kind of testing all the waters right now, and we're trying to figure out what works best for her. So, but she had a good workout the other day. Where this drink that we're using right now seemed to work pretty well. So yeah, so
Oh, that's
see,
good.
it's all kind of touch and go, isn't it? You kind of have to test the whole thing, don't you? You never stop learning, do you? In this
Mm-mm.
sport, So even someone like Camille, we're still trying to figure out, like in hotter weather, and she's coming from a colder climate where her body chemistry actually slowed down a little bit, being at high altitude, 8,000 feet, and in a colder climate, 9 months of the year. So now we're actually in Tucson at the moment. We're training in heat, and we're at sea level, so we're getting used to a lot more sweating and a lot more kind of like using a lot more. Her body chemistry is starting to kick in again, so that's good. So yeah, so
So
just
part
did an
of
insight
training
tracker. Yeah.
is moving
So,
around to where your body needs to acclimate.
yeah, being a full-time athlete, we kind of, we're very flexible with our time, and being able to kind of go places where and it's just too cold in Colorado. We just need it 80, 90-degree heat training. So we've been here a month now, and yeah, just training in heat helped her a lot. Yeah, she's starting to sweat more, which is good. So yeah,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
yeah,
Western
so
States definitely will get hot down in the
yeah,
canyon.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah. You got to be able to sweat. So yeah, so yeah, we're over here in Tucson at the moment training them. Yeah, and there's a little bit good selection of everything here. The stuff we were on today is climbed to went from 2,000 to 4,500 feet, and it was pretty technical. It was an 9 mile loop, and it's pretty technical stuff. Yeah, so yeah, it was good for her to get on that. Yeah, yeah. So
That's cool.
yeah,
And then you have a coaching business as well.
yeah,
You want to tell everybody that's listening a little about
yeah,
that?
yeah. Run with Camille.com. Yeah, it's named after Camille. And but yeah, we started that back in the fall of 2018. I want to say, was it 18 or 19? I think it was 18. Yeah, sounds about right. And yeah, it's been good coaching people all over the world. And yeah, yeah, we kind of do a little bit of everything on the website. We kind of offer a little bit of everything. It's not just one fit all. Kind of something for everybody on there. Whatever you're into, And a lot of people don't like to be coached every day, every week. They kind of like just want to have a plan, and so we offer those kind of customized plans, and they seem to be very popular. Yeah, that 100 mile plan is pretty popular, and we sell that on the website. And but yeah, it's good. Yeah, yeah. Kind of gave up I was a collegiate coach there for about 16 years, and kind of gave up all that to help Camille with her running and kind of support her, and then we kind of do this on the side too. So yeah, it's good. Yeah, got a good clientele and good athletes and people that really buy into what we believe in. And yeah, so we've had a lot of success. A lot of runners have run really well. And probably the biggest thing that kind of people don't that we kind of look at is, and this isn't a negative thing, but this is how we approach. We just don't do back-to-back long runs. A lot of people kind of believe that they need to do that to get better at the sport, and if that's what you believe, that's great. But we just don't. That's not our philosophy when we do this, and it just wears you out. And so we've had athletes that have run really well in our training, and yeah, so yeah.
Yeah, well, congratulations on that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I hear good stuff. I'm out and about a lot, and I hear about
Oh
people
yeah.
with you guys a lot.
That's
So
cool. Yeah, good deal. Yeah. Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, it's fun coaching people and getting people from a starting line to the finish line, and and the cycle of training and really it's all about just being consistent and I just go back to what I talked about when we first started chatting was just the love of the sport. You guys just love this to be able to do it every day and just enjoy the process and that's kind of what we offer, just being able to being consistent and kind of just do what you can do. Yeah. So yeah, so it's fun.
Yeah, I love that philosophy. Really good.
Yeah.
So should we move on to the Ornery Mule Stubborn 5? Do you know about that?
No, I never made it that far in your podcast, so. All new to me.
Uh-oh, you're in trouble then. The pistol's going to come after you.
No, that's all right.
No.
It's all right. I can handle it.
Yeah, I think Hold the Bolt can handle.
I can handle it.
Yeah. All right. They're just 5 questions. Just, it's really they're fun.
Is there a clock on these questions?
There's no clock. No.
Okay.
No clock at all.
All right.
The first question is: share one thing about you that people may not know.
Oh, that's a good one. I was a music major in college.
What did you
play?
play?
What did you play?
Played the piano and I sang.
Nice.
So, yeah. I got a great voice in me when I got a few beers in me.
Well, have a beer and sing us something.
Oh, Johnny boy, the pipes are calling from glen to glen and down the mountainside. There you go.
I love it.
Do you still play piano?
Yeah, I still do, yeah. Yeah. Not as much as I should, but, But I'm a very busy person, managing Camille Heron and all her intricacies and all the things that so.
It doesn't fit in the van, the piano?
No, the piano doesn't fit in the van. That'd be really hard to put that thing in the van, I tell you. God.
All right. What is something in your life that you are looking forward to?
Retirement.
Yay!
I have a feeling you would stay busy at that.
Yeah, I probably would actually. Yeah. What am I looking forward to? Yeah, I'm looking forward to dinner tonight. We're gonna be cooking some spaghetti and meatballs tonight. So yeah.
Oh, yummy.
That's good.
Yeah. Looking forward to that. Looking forward to taking the dog out for a walk here pretty soon, and yeah, I'm sure she'll probably take a dump, and I'll have to pick that up. So I'm looking forward to that.
That's the little things, right?
Exactly. They add up.
Well, it's much better if you take it for a walk and pick it up than when you go to sleep at night.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Right? You wake up in the morning, and you see it on your doorstep. She's 5 now, and we had 2, and the other guy just passed away a month ago. This was a massive shock. We didn't even see it coming. He was fine, and they call it the silent killer. What he had, apparently, they don't show any symptoms, and yeah, he just kind of just started feeling bad one day, and then the next day he started looking a lot worse. I was like, I gotta take him to the vet, and yeah, the vet said his spleen had exploded. Yeah, I was like, he was dead. It was terrible. They had to put him down within the hour, But she's 5, and Winnie, come here, and come here, and she's 5 here, and let me see if I can. Here, come here. There you go. Oh, can you see her?
Hi, Winnie.
There she is. Yeah, Winnie, come here. Look, who's that? Oh, yeah. So anyway, but she's a great dog. Yeah, she's great travel dog. Yeah, she's just so easygoing and stuff, and loves to travel with us everywhere. And yeah, she'll be at West. She was at Jackpot Ultra. It was great.
Oh.
She was hanging out while I was crewing Camille. Yeah, so and she'll go to Western States. Oh, there she is. You hear her barking at somebody.
Yeah.
She's a great guard dog. So no one's coming into this house with this dog. I tell you.
Right.
German Shepherds are like that though, So
yeah.
So she likes traveling in the van.
Oh, she loves the van. Yeah, every time we go, like even today, we went up to this mountain. It was about a 30-minute drive to get there, and she was ready. She knows when we start putting stuff together in the bags to take with us. She knows she's going. So yeah, but yeah, she loved it. Yeah. So it was a bit warm up there, so. Myself and Winnie, we hung out in the van with the air conditioning while Camille was out there sweating up on the mountain. So
yeah, I'm sure is she adjusting to the heat because she's got a thick coat.
Yeah, I don't take her out during the day. I only take her early in the morning and late at night. So but no, I wouldn't take her out. Like even though where we are right now, it's pretty shaded. So, but still though, it'd be hot on her paws, So yeah. So, but no, I'll take her out here. It gets cold here at about it starts getting cold here. The sun starts going down about 6 o'clock, which is coming up here. So I'll take her for a walk here pretty soon, So.
Well, she's a beauty. Thanks for introducing her to us.
Yeah.
All right, next question is, do you have any hobbies? I know you're busy, but
Jesus, hobbies. I used to play Xbox a lot when I was a college coach. I used to come home and I'd be fried from talking to kids all day, so I'd get on the Xbox and play for 30 minutes. That kind of mellowed me out. So
yeah.
but I haven't played that in a long time. Hobbies. Probably I like to read. I like to read a lot of books and stuff. So I like and Camille gets a lot of these what do you call them books sent to her from people to review, and I usually end up being the one that reads the book and tells Camille what to say. So, so if you ever need a book read, I guess, and I'm a fast reader too. I can read a book in 3 or 4 days. So and because I could skim pages, I got a great memory. But yeah, I love to read. Like scientific books and anything to do with athletics and running, and because even if I found something, I think that'd be something I could put into a training plan, So I love taking ideas from other people or even just reading other workouts and those kind of things. So yeah, I like to read. Yeah, so yeah.
Nice.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Do you have anyone that you look up to, or do you have an influence in your life?
Yeah, my dad. I think my dad would be my influence. He's a great running coach in Ireland. He's in his 80s now, and he's getting ready to retire from coaching. He's just he's coached for so long, and but yeah, and then my college mentor was Kelly Sullivan. He was the head coach at Oregon State, the coach at Seattle University in Seattle now. He's the head coach there, and he's a great mentor. So talk to him. But yeah, they would be. And then Camille's dad is a good man to talk to too. Jack Heron. He grew up playing basketball for Henry Iba and was on the Olympic training development staff. And so just people that I respect in the sport too. I think you look at some of the people in the sport nowadays. Some of the older generation. Trishul Churns up in New York, an ultra runner from Canada. He'd be actually a great person to have on your interview too. If that might be someone that you should interview.
Okay.
That guy could talk all day long about the sport, and he's got great stories. And so he's someone that I respect too immensely. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be great.
And then maybe someone like some of the other Roy Perron. That's another person.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of these trailblazers. I think that came before the crop that are here today. I think the history of this sport is Trishul has actually sent me a bunch of the old magazines from the 1970s, the ultra running magazine. He still has all the magazines from the 70s and the 80s, all of them, and he sent me a batch to read. And yeah, so I love reading the history of the sport. You kind of think about the trailblazers that came before, the crop that are today, and the times they were running back then, and the shoe development now, and the sport nutrition, and everything we know more about the sport than we knew 30 years ago. And it's great to be able to, have someone like, Camille loves the history of the sport too, and being able to kind of say that what she's done now is, it's the times that she's run and the things that she's done in the sport, kind of like that the people that came before were the trailblazers for her, so that's exciting, so
yeah.
So,
it is.
Yeah. So
I think it's so cool to look back, like in the 70s and early 80s and see like what shoes they were wearing when they were running on trails and what clothing, and barely didn't take anything with them or just water. It's just so cool how it's, come so far over the years. I love watching those old videos and learning about the history as well.
Yeah, it's pretty cool actually. Yeah, indeed. Yeah, and a lot of people say how shoe development has kind of ruined the sport. I don't think it has. I think it's just a sign of the times that you have these companies now that kind of want to invest all this money into the sport, and a lot of people are complaining about how shoes, the magic shoes, have kind of they've taken the sport to a level that the professionalism of it. But I think it's just being part of where we are, isn't it? As a country, as a culture, that you're just gonna have to accept it and go with the flow, So yeah.
You still have to be extremely well trained for
yeah.
those shoes to work.
Oh yeah.
Right.
You still gotta run.
Right.
You still gotta be able to run 7:37 per mile for 100 miles, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So,
yeah, no shoe's gonna do that for me.
No. Were you there that day at Tunnel Hill? Were you at
I
Tunnel Hill
was
that day?
not, but my friend Ed, who might be watching tonight, but the comments aren't on today for some reason. But my friend Ed was there, Ed Mayhew.
Okay.
And so yeah, super exciting. That was so cool.
Yeah, it
Ed
was a fun day. Yeah, that was a good day.
Yeah, that
good day in the sport. Yeah.
And that smile crossing. Big day for women in the sport.
It was, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So plenty more hopefully to come.
Yes.
Yes. All right, last question, and I'm going to change it. It's usually what's your favorite treat for a job well done, but I'm going to ask you what's your favorite beer for a job well done.
There you go. That's easy. I love a Voodoo Ranger, the IPA, the 9%.
Okay.
Yeah. None of that light stuff for me. I like the stronger the better. Yeah, the Voodoo Ranger. That seems to be our drink of choice these days. Also, a good Shiner Bock is good too, and Guinness obviously, and whiskey and all of the above. But yeah, full circle, I'd say a Voodoo Ranger IPA is good.
Voodoo Ranger.
Yep, writing that down. Voodoo Ranger.
So am I.
We got our notes.
You got to look at the percentage when you go to the store. Make sure it says 9% on it. No, that's 7 or 6% stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, want the good stuff,
one or two of them. Yeah, stronger the better.
Well,
indeed.
Yeah, that's great. Well, you made it through the Ornery Mule Stubborn 5.
That was easy. Piece of cake.
Yep.
Loved it. Yeah, not too hard at all. Very good.
Yeah.
Do you have any training questions for me at all, or anything at all? Anybody asking any training questions at all?
Well,
or?
for some, is there a way to see the questions because they're not popping up for some reason, Rael?
Or is nobody watching it?
Yeah.
That's why. There's no questions.
Oh no, there is some questions, but normally they pop up on my screen, but they're not working for some reason.
Okay.
Oh, Greg Sturdy. He wants to know what your favorite whiskey is.
Obviously, I do like, and I'm not a big whiskey drinker. Camille is, but I'm not. But we do have a bottle of Jameson in the house at the moment. So, and, it's actually quite cheap here at the moment. It's like $19.99 for a nice bottle of Jameson. It's actually $10 cheaper than in Colorado. But anyway, so Jameson, a little bit of Coke is okay. A little sip here and there, but I'm not a big whiskey guy, I'll be honest with you. Yeah. So, yeah, never was. Yeah. You're going to hit hard liquor, just go straight vodka. Just saying. It's cheaper.
Right. Yeah.
So just straight vodka, not like, olive or in it or.
Straight up. Bulgarian vodka is pretty good, I'll tell you that. Yeah. If you ever find yourself in Bulgaria, that is.
Well, it was just my daughter's 21st birthday, and
that was a hoot.
we did a shot. We all did shots of tequila. That was actually pretty good. You did the salt and then the lime, and Did
you get 21 shots or just one shot?
We just got one shot. We had margaritas too.
Oh, okay. That's
one
good
shot
too.
was plenty.
Okay.
I have no idea what kind we had though, but it was actually, I thought it was pretty good. It was my first shot I've had for a long time.
Very good.
So
good.
We did get a question. For some reason, our questions aren't up. They normally are. What kind of tips, like for somebody that's trying to get faster?
Yeah, got to do speed work. Yeah, every week. Do strides. Start out with strides actually. At least once to twice a week. Probably 4 to 6 strides. You'd probably want to do and you do your strides on the day before you do your workout. So get into a consistency of doing strides 1 to 2 times a week. And when I say 1 to 2 times a week, you're doing like 4 to 6, 6 to 8 strides in a set. And always do the strides. And then the strides are like about 90% effort. So they're not all out sprints, but just imagine and find a spot where it's nice and flat, maybe a little grade downhill so your legs are overturning pretty fast. So you do them, get into the habit of doing them every week. And then, just get in the habit of doing speed work, You can't, if you want to run slow, you'll run slow every day. But if you want to run fast, you got to put in speed work every day, every week, So we're big believers in, you got to push the envelope. Like 90-second reps, 3-minute reps, 5-minute reps, 8-minute reps, anything at all, just and get into a nice cycle of doing it. And we typically do everything on a 2 to 3 week cycle in our training plans, and so you'll do sprints 1 week, and then you'll do long intervals another week, and then do shorter minutes and longer minutes and progression runs. So yeah, and then it just cycles all over again, and hopefully the next time you do it, then you're going a little bit quicker, a little bit faster, and you're a little stronger. So yeah, but no, yeah, you got to do a little bit of everything, you know, a little bit of strength conditioning, little strides, little sprints, and little interval work, yeah. So, and then everything else, you just jog, yeah.
So how does somebody know what the jog, pace is? That's
so typically,
now I've got a couple questions coming in.
Yeah, I like to go off 2 minutes, so 2 minutes slower than your race pace. So if your race pace is 6:30 per mile, go jog 8:30 to 9-minute miles.
Okay.
That's what I usually that's my rule of thumb, about 2 minutes. You can't go too wrong with about 2 minutes difference. What you'll find as you get faster and faster and stronger in a training cycle is you'll probably want to increase that pace a little bit. So maybe 1.5 to 2 minutes. But I wouldn't go anything faster than 1.5 because you're kind of go into that, what I call your gray zone. Your gray zone where you're running too fast in your recovery days and you're never recovering. So you're always a little bit tired. Your legs will be heavy and stuff. Yeah. So.
Okay.
So yeah, keep it slow. Yeah. So like Camille will jog like 8:30, 9-minute miles, typically. Yeah. And then she should be cranking it down sub 6-minute miles then for her speed work. Yeah. So.
Yeah. And then somebody is asking about expanding on the not doing back-to-back long runs.
Yeah.
Like, what do you do? Do you take the next day off?
No, you run.
Okay.
You just run. You run twice. You run. If you do your long run, let's say on the weekend you're doing your own long run on the Sunday, and that's up to. We like to do anything up to 22 miles in long runs, and anything beyond that, just find a race. Especially now that all these races starting back up again, just go find a race, run it. And then we'll come back 4 to 6 hours that same day and do like 4 to 6 miles. So you're still getting in 28 miles of running. And then the day before, you'll have typically 2 runs. You'll do an 80-minute run in the morning and come back and do 40 to 60 minutes in the afternoon, evening. So you're still getting in 16 to 18 miles that day too. So you're just splitting it all up. It's the constant reminder your body's moving a lot, and we believe in moving your body a lot. So that's what you're doing. You're just not all doing it in cumulative volume like long run Saturday, long run Sunday. We like to break it up. So you're just not getting as much volume, you know? So yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense?
Yeah. Oh,
yes.
Totally. That's good. Are you a 7-day-a-week runner or like?
We typically like to do about 13 runs in a week. Yeah.
Okay.
We go at about 6 to 7 doubles, and then our next day will be a single. So that's typically what we like to do for our higher volume athletes. For our lower volume athletes, if you're only running 40 to 60 miles a week, typically you might be taking 2 days off completely a week. And typically day off weeks will be a Monday or a Friday. Monday, because Monday is always the most stressful day of the week. So typically, relax on a Monday, and then you run your Tuesday run, strides, you do your workout Wednesday, recovery Thursday, Friday off, Saturday, a nice steady run, getting ready for doing a workout on a Sunday. We like to do our workouts, long run and workouts together too. So we'll bunch a progression run in with a workout, with a long run, or even hills too on a Sunday as part of your long run. Yeah, so you get double the duty. Yeah, but it just depends on how much volume you're running. If you're running like Camille is 120 miles a week, you're typically doing 6 to 7 days of doubles. And then you'll do the next day single, yeah. So yeah. But we have athletes I just wrote a training plan today for an athlete, and 30 miles was her max in the training cycle. And I just knocked that out, yeah. It was a 16-week cycle, yeah. So it was for the half marathon, yeah. So yeah. So
do you think is a cycle do you think 16 weeks is a good
distance? Yeah, typically 16 weeks, unless you get into more of that. The 24-hour plan, that's actually a 6-month plan.
Okay.
But most of our plans are 16 weeks. Our 100-mile plan is 16 weeks. Our 100K plan is 16 weeks. Yeah. So I think 16 weeks is a good amount of time, isn't it? You're able to race at least 2 prep races and your goal race in 16 weeks, or maybe just 1 prep race. We like to do at least 1 prep race out 3 to 4 weeks out from your goal race. So like looking at your 50K we did back in October 2019, it was exactly 3 weeks out from the World Championships. Was perfect. So yeah.
Yeah, we'd love to have you back.
That was a great event, yeah.
Yeah,
got
that
a
was.
dry day. Remember, it rained early morning, and it kind of tapered off then, and she raced in the after. Started the race in the afternoon. It was great, yeah. That was a great course too. There was a little wind. She had a bit of a tailwind for most of the day. It was nice, yeah. She shit her pants. I even made it for better days too. So yeah, so.
Oh wow! I didn't know. See, I didn't know that part of the story.
Oh yeah.
We're getting the dirt on the dirt.
Do you remember at the finish line? Remember those kids at the finish line? They were like, "Oh, they were like, did she fall?" I said, "No, that ain't mud."
Well, one of the kids was Crystal's daughter.
All right, very good.
Yeah.
Maybe she was the one that asked was, "Did she fall?" I said, "No, that ain't mud."
And then I put that picture on the calendar for Ultra Running Magazine.
There you go.
Did you see it?
Oh my
God.
So now when we all look at the calendar for Ultra Running Magazine,
looking at our legs, yeah.
we'll be like, "Oh, how'd you get Buddy?"
Issues, yeah. So, yeah. We're having some good old nutrition issues that day, yeah, but we got it all figured out eventually, yeah. So yeah.
Yeah.
When you're running as fast as she is, you know, you got to just go with it. You know, can't be stopping for breaks.
Yeah. She did great. It was.
It was a great event. Yeah. It was a fun day. Yeah. Those aid stations were great too. You had.
Oh, thank
you. Those people were wonderful. Yeah. Those people that were manning them were great. Yeah. Because I'd get there a few minutes before she'd show up, and I don't think some of them I weren't supposed to be at, but I showed up anyway. But I'd park down a bit and I'd walk up and but they were lovely. They're lovely people at them.
Yeah, they all come back every year, and they just have. It's just you're just running from party to party. You know, it's a trail party.
Oh yeah. You're planning on having that again in October, right?
Yep, we'll have that in October, and
cool.
I feel like it will happen.
I hope so.
I mean, I've already put on a race with 400 runners in Illinois, so I feel like.
How's Illinois? Are they restricting? Are they lessening all the rules now? Is it starting to open again? Or
they're pretty strict, and I am putting on a race next weekend, not this coming weekend, but the next, and that's I'm 100% sure that's happening, and. Even though they're pretty strict, we're only can have 50 people, including volunteers and crew, at one time in a space. But we've been able to do that, even with 400 runners.
Coming out, do you have state officials coming out to keep an eye on you, all that kind of stuff?
No, nobody came that I knew of to Earth Day that I saw.
Jackpot Ultra, they had some fella show up halfway through the day.
What's that?
They had an official show up. Some state official showed up at the Jackpot Ultra there.
Oh, they did?
Oh yeah. Checking, making sure everyone was wearing masks at the aid stations.
Well, maybe we just, well, we were. They would have, found us all wearing a mask, so we would have been okay. But, as far as I know, nobody
is Illinois are they starting to are people getting kind of burned out in the whole thing yet over there? Yeah, like they're over here?
Yeah.
They're getting burned out over here a bit. Yeah.
Yep.
Getting tired of wearing masks in Walmart and everything.
Yeah, everybody's kind of over it.
Yeah.
And everybody, I know at Earth Day, everybody was coming up to me saying that they've already been vaccinated, so they didn't count. And, so I don't know. Everybody's over it.
It's been a tough old go of it, I tell you.
Yeah. But
well, hopefully.
It's great that things are starting to open back up. And
True. Good.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Any more questions? No more questions.
No more questions came in.
All right.
First, we usually get more. I don't know. I think it's delayed a little bit for some reason tonight.
Yeah, they probably saw Conor Holt. Who's that dude?
No, they did.
Put Camille Heron's husband. Now we know who he is.
We were a little late posting it because we didn't have it all settled in at. Normally we say a couple days in advance on the show too.
That was probably my fault, isn't it?
And so we didn't quite know, so that could have been
it.
But a lot of people come back later. What's that?
And watch it. You're recording this then, I guess? It'll be on forever and ever and ever? Okay.
Yeah.
Forever. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to hold you to all the stuff. Yeah, so it's
Awesome.
on YouTube. You'll be able to watch it on YouTube, and then we release it as a sound-only podcast on any place that you listen to podcasts. And
I don't listen. I read. I'll be able to go back to what I said. I don't read. I don't listen to a lot of podcasts. I don't. Maybe you should. But I read a lot. I'm just old-fashioned like that. So I guess podcasts are the thing these days, aren't they? So.
Yeah, I like to listen to crime podcasts. I think
that's the thing, huh?
While I'm out on the trail by myself, and then I listen to a really big murder mystery, and then I'm like, what the heck? Why is that car parked over there?
You're getting all paranoid, huh?
That person looks really sneaky. Maybe it's what I'm listening to.
Wow. Crazy. Yeah, I suppose I should listen to a few more running podcasts, So, cause I know Camille's done a ton of podcasts.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So.
Yeah, I like listening to podcasts too.
Yeah. I appreciate you having me on, though. Yeah, enjoyed it. Yeah, it went by quite fast.
Yeah.
Nearly an hour now, yeah. So hopefully you learned a little bit about us and what we do, and so.
Yeah, we did, and it was really great, and we hope, and like I said, we'll take good care of you, Kettle, whatever race that you want to come. We would love to have you guys, and good luck at Western States, man.
Yeah.
We are going to all be cheering here from the Midwest.
Oh yeah. It'll be a good day, hopefully. Yeah. She'll get it right this time. She's very determined to, and it's a Hoka running event too now. So
Oh.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hoka's in charge of the whole thing now. Yeah. They're got some interesting plans. They're gonna have a live telecast and live webcast of the whole thing apparently. So it'll be something similar to the thing they did in the Carbon X thing back in January. They're wanting to do something similar. So it'll be all day events. Yeah. So that'd be kind of cool. Yeah. So
that's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. So but yeah, we're excited. Yeah, just get to the starting line healthy and just give it a good crack this time. Yeah. So.
Well, yeah, that's super. Now that I know that they're going to be live broadcasting that, we're going to have to have a party here at the trailhead.
There you go.
And we'll just all watch Camille smash it. We're just going to send all of our good energy towards her.
Awesome.
She could beat all the guys.
Yeah, has the woman ever finished in the top 10? Well, maybe Ann Trayson did back in the day, probably.
Yeah, Ann Trayson won. I just listened to a podcast, actually. I forgot which one I was listening to, and they were talking about that Ann Trace. Oh, actually, I was Dean Carnase's book I was listening to on tape, or on, so kind of like a podcast, and she, I believe that I heard she won, or at least was in the top 5.
Yeah.
She finished really high.
Yeah, that's cool. Have you had Ann Trayson on here yet?
No. Have you talked to Ann lately?
She's a quiet one for sure, yeah.
Yeah.
You should get her on there. I bet she'd be a good old guest. I know Krumer had her on his long run.
Yeah,
a few years back, yeah.
I really like her, and I haven't been. She's kind of disappeared lately, and
she's probably just tired of the whole thing, isn't she? Probably tired of running, tired of life.
Yeah.
Just want to relax, have a whiskey.
Yeah. Yeah, she'll probably be out there at Western States. I bet you'll get to see her.
She lives on the course. I think she lives at 96 miles or something. Yeah. So she'll be. That's where we've seen her in the past. Anyway, we've seen her at a few of the aid stations, and I've talked to her. Nice lady.
Yeah. Well, if you see her, tell her that Michelle says hi. And I got to pace her at a race one time. Here in Chicago. It was after she did Hennepin 100. And then a few weeks later, she went and did a 100K, and I was there volunteering, and they were like, "Oh, Ann really needs somebody to go out with her." And I had pants on, I wasn't there to run, and somebody handed me a water bottle, and I'm like, "Okay, go!" And I just took off with her and ended up doing a lap. So that was really cool. I got to hear the best podcast, her telling amazing stories on the trail.
Should have your son there beside you with all his equipment there.
Yeah. Yeah, it was best stories ever. That's really cool. Great experience.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Awesome. Good stuff.
So.
All right. Well, grand talking with you all. Crystal the Pistol and Michelle Belly and Michelle Belly and
Sure. Oh, this
Shelly
is gonna trend.
I hope it does.
Yeah. Or the Twitter thing on that. Hashtag.
My brother will be like cheering, like, oh.
There you go.
Oh my gosh.
So.
I'm talking with y'all, and we'll see you soon. Hopefully, So.
Yeah. Thank you, Connor. Thank you,
all
everybody,
right,
for listening.
All right. Take care. Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.